Hey guys, RTT back here from the video, guys. Today, I decided, you know what, let's take a look back down memory lane at when the Surface Neo and the Surface Duo was first announced and released at the Microsoft event. Now, if we go ahead and take a look real fast, this was posted back in 2019 by Rich DeMuro, so shout out to him for posting this. But here is our first technical look. Now, you know, people always make fun of Apple and say like, oh, the iPads are just just iPhones that are bigger, right? This is literally the definition of that for the Surface Duo and the Surface Neo. These are literally identical. On the outside, identical. Obviously, inside's different, but on the outside, these are so freaking identical. It's not even a joke at this point. I mean, if we go skip forward here, right, and we go ahead and take a look at this, that literally looks like you took a Surface Duo 1 and just expanded it like 300 times. It is absolutely hilarious how identical these two devices worked. And again, that was the point. The point of these two devices were to look identical, but also function together in unison. And that's what the beautiful thing was. You were going to have what would have been pretty much a tablet / laptop, and then you have a cell phone. And at any time, you can switch back and forth, and there's no issue at all, no problem at all. They work together. They share the same stuff. They have cloud-based systems. So anything you have on one device, you have on another device. It was pretty much the most perfect system you could ever have. And this is why I'm so upset that we never got a Surface Neo, because look how thin that device is. And that's another reason why a lot of people love the Surface Duo 1 and 2, is because of how thin these devices truly are. Yes, when you use it in phone mode or you have it closed, it's not as thin as it is right here. Of course, when you have two screens put on top of each other, you're going to have a thicker device. And I believe the Surface Duo 2 and 1 are the same exact thickness level of the Z Fold 4. The only difference is, you know, really just that hinge, and you have two separate displays. Now, of course, you kind of can't make this thinner than the Z Fold 4 in any way, because you're always going to have those two separate displays, while Z Fold 4, you could technically make thinner if you go ahead and make the screens a little bit, you know, you slim down the bezels a little bit, slims down the actual two screens or two sides of the screen, but that is so freaking gorgeous. Oh my god. Just the hardware alone is so beautiful. And I could just imagine what a Surface Neo 2 would have looked like with less bezels. I mean, don't get me wrong, the bezels on this device really aren't that insanely bad. Especially for 2019, they're really not insane. You know, you have, yes, on the sides, bezels a little bit, and top are, of course, the biggest issues. This was the biggest issue with the Surface Duo 1 to a lot of people, was the bezels on that phone, and obviously the Surface Duo 2 did fix that immensely, but it's just, oh my god. And that hinge, man, that absolute hinge is god tier hinge. Here's another feature that was really cool about the Surface Neo, if it did come out, and that was the ability to go ahead and flip out a keyboard. So you could literally turn this into a full-on laptop, which is something that we see with the, you know, new foldable laptops by Samsung, is that you can turn one screen into a keyboard and have the other screen as a functional laptop. Well, this one kind of gave you the best of both worlds. You could connect a laptop to it, and you would kind of have this idea of, a keyboard to it, and you have this idea of a keyboard, a physical touch keyboard, not just a touch one, an actual physical, you know, feeling keyboard. And you could also use it as a laptop, which was a freaking W. I'm still upset Microsoft canned this. This is like, you know what this is right here, by the way? This is like taking, what's it called? It's like taking the MacBook Pro with the touch bar and just expanding it. Because this is literally the same concept. You could technically, if you made this screen right here like a touch bar, like different commands for the actual Surface Neo, and then you have the keyboard down there, and then you have the screen up there. It literally looks exactly like what would be a MacBook Pro. Obviously a lot smaller than a MacBook Pro, but still, when it had the touch bar, very somewhat similar. And again, this is why the Surface Duo 1, the Surface Duo 2, the Surface Neo, all were so unique and were so freaking successful, because of that 360-degree hinge, something we have not seen on any other computing device when it comes to a tablet, phone, computing device. I want to say that because obviously, yes, Microsoft has their all-in-ones where you can go ahead and flip it to a tablet, flip it back for a keyboard and stuff. They do have that, but for this exact device, you're never going to see this. And it's so disappointing because this could have been such a successful device. It's not even a joke at this point. Like, oh my gosh. And look how beautiful that one is. I just love the Surface Duo in general. How it looks is so gorgeous. But then you have the Surface Duo, which again, look how thin that phone is. Then you compare that with, of course, the Surface Neo. I'm baffled. I'm baffled and upset that this never happened. Because there's so much possibility, so much, room for them to go ahead and, honestly improve on this. Like, this could have been a whole entire lineup series of Surface Neos, especially with how unique this is. Like, dang. I feel like that's my only reaction I can give because, like, I'm still amazed how this ended up, flopping and just being, like, cut. Because just so many great ideas I can think of my top of my head just right now. Within seconds, I could think of this. And now, how would 12L work on this? That's another question. How would different operating systems there would be a lot more companies though, a lot more developers out there who would create applications for the Surface Neo, which could be downscaled to the Surface Duo. A lot of work to be done. But you know what? What could have been simply was never. Guys, enjoy this video. Hit the likes, comment down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.